You know, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Purdy now on second down. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if we're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down. McCaffrey running up the middle, and he's going to get this pretty close to a first down, stopped at the Panthers' 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. And his throw here's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Purdy looking to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. He's got the leg, but
he missed it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's missed it. God, no. How do you miss the kick like that? If I was their coach, I would be pressing him. But I'm not their coach.
The Carolina offense about ready to go.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Second quarter action. 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Second down and 3. Now a handoff running through the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
There you go, partner. That's some old-school football right there. You need 1 yard? Give it to your bruiser fullback and let him get the job done.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. You talk about rookies having big statistical years. He had a boatload of these in the regular season, more than 1 per game, and now he has his first here in the playoffs.
And we know the guys on the other side of the field were hoping that he would be intimidated by playing in the postseason, but they can just let that go because he's as confident as they come. And I know that he believes that that's the first of many playoff touchdowns that he's going to have as his career progresses.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Niners ready to go on offense for the final time of this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This the first of 4 divisional round matchups coming up this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers doing battle with the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
We've always got to remember that once the ball's in the air, the defender has every right to go after it that a receiver does. And that was a battle for positioning on that play. And in the end, he's able to force the incomplete pass.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Panthers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0.
Freaking love you, y'all.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a give up the middle. Oh, he shifts past him. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained run.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Following the fumble recovery, Freeman. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Throwing again, Freeman. Here's Johnson with a reception. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Back to throw, Freeman. Again, it's Johnson. Touchdown, Panthers. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Panthers get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, Time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Here's Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, and now some space to operate. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they have made this look easy. There's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
Off play action. Freeman. And that is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now, we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present, making plays, and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and the end result, a Panthers touchdown. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
It's over for ya.
Now Purdy. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. He's got Ayuk once again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Purdy. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. Jennings lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead.
Thank you. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Get off me.
The tackle. And the Panthers are going to get the football here at
That's why his name is Be Careful.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Complete. It's Johnson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 24-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin.